Equal area map projections are another special case of map projections. In equal area map projections, all of the relative areas are correct as far as what is bigger and what is larger on a world map or on a map at a smaller scale of a smaller area. So for example, in this map, the United States is the area that we see as the United States really does compare with the area we see of other countries such as Australia or India or China. One thing about the equal area map projection, though, is because the lines of latitude become shorter and shorter as we move towards the equator and the South Pole. In order to compensate for that, in this map projection, the lines of latitude get closer and closer together. So lines of latitude are not equally spaced, and that's how it's compensated for in this example here. This is called an equal area cylindrical projection because the globe was first projected onto a cylinder, and then that cylinder was flattened out. So the line of zero distortion here would be the equator because this is a normal cylindrical map projection. Another way that an equal area map projection could be put together is in this way here. This is sometimes called the Gall-Peters map projection or Peters-Gall map projection. It was one that was developed in the 1960s by Arno Peters, who was a filmmaker and was interested in propaganda. He kind of sold other world maps, such as the Mercator map, as contributing to this propaganda by making countries at higher latitudes, such as the United States and Europe. He said that they looked larger on the Mercator map, and this was intentionally used to try to downplay the role of other countries, such as the African nations and the South American nations. It turns out that Peters did not invent this map projection. It had actually been invented 100 years before by James Gall, but the Peters map projection really caught on in some ways, such as UNESCO started to use it, the National Council of Churches, and other organizations that were looking for a way to more fairly represent all of the countries on a flat world map. In more recent years, other people worked on map projections that are much more appealing but still retain this equal area. This is the Equal Earth map projection that Tom Patterson with the National Park Service and others have developed. And it uses curved lines of longitude in order to compensate for some of that change in area, as well as making lines of latitude at higher latitudes closer together. And we can see in this example here that it's more pleasing, things don't look as distorted, but in this case it still would be an equal area map projection. Equal area map projections are especially important if we're trying to map something per unit area, such as population density. That's the number of people that live in an area per unit area. So in that case, it's very important to display those on an equal area map projection so that we actually get a correct representation of what we're trying to show.